So finding those sits bones on the floor, maybe the shoulders over the hips. Our chin can tuck slightly, and then the breath just flows without strain in through the nose. And if it feels comfortable, you can exhale out the nose, but if that feels a little unnatural, just let the breath exit the body through the mouth. Breathing in. Exhale. It's our Saturday morning, 10:45. Let's be fully present together. Today we're going to cultivate Sutra 133 from Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. And we've actually done this before, about a year and a half ago. And I think it's a really nice time to circle back to this sutra. It's Sutra 133. And when we think about yoga, Patanjali writes that, the goal of yoga is to still the mind. So in the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali is giving us tools to keep our minds still, to have equanimity of mind. So in Sutra 133, I think this is a really good time for us to bring this into our space. So that's what we're going to do today. In daily life, we see people around us who are happier than we are, people who are less happy. Some may be doing praiseworthy things and others causing problems. Whatever may be our usual attitude towards such people and their actions, if we can be pleased with others who are happier than ourselves, compassionate toward those who are unhappy, joyful with those who are doing praiseworthy things, and remain undisturbed by the errors of others, our mind will be very tranquil. So let's let those kind of pearls of wisdom be in our space. Remembering that tranquility of mind is what our aim is here. Tranquility of our own mind. So it's going to be practice kind of 4 separate parts where we cultivate an attitude towards people that are happier than us, that appear happier, compassion towards the unhappy, joyful towards those doing praiseworthy things, and see if we can cultivate a mind that is undisturbed by the errors of others. In no means is Patanjali saying that we need to just let the world go by and we just sit in our bubble, but we have equanimity of mind. We get to a right place inside our own mind that when we do act, it's from a place of equanimity. So let's breathe that in. Exhale. Here we are, present moment. If you're not in a seat, come up to a seat. If you're in a seat, let's just bring our arms above our head. Maybe just roll our wrists back and forth. Making some movement in the wrists. And then just moving those wrists down, kind of moving the shoulders. So kind of an exaggerated forward shoulder roll and back. Moving the wrists and the shoulders, and be feeling some movement in the elbows. And let's bring it all the way up. Maybe when our hands come above the head, interlace the fingers and flip the palms to the sky. And if that doesn't feel okay on the shoulders, just bring the palms to the sky. The fingers can be back. Take a big stretch. Maybe bring the chin to the chest. And then inhale, bring the head up, eyes to the sky. Let the hands float down. The gaze is up. The hands reach down. And then we'll exhale, bring the ears over the shoulders, gaze ahead, hands down. And then we'll bring our arm up. Bring the right arm up. Bend the right hand back, and the left hand can come to that elbow. Press the elbow back and down, opening up the back of the arm. Maybe noticing how the breath fills the body when we're in this shape. With our arms above the head, maybe the heart and chest are open. Exhale, extend both arms back to the sky. Send the left hand back. Press that right or that left elbow down with the right hand. Exhale, inhale. And then exhale, release the hands to the sky again. And then bring the arms down. And then find that block. And with the block, we're just going to bring it between the forearms. Press the forearms into the block. And if you don't have a block, then just bring the forearms out in front, about shoulder width apart. And we're just going to move from the shoulder in line with the elbows. Just going to move it up just a little bit and then down. Maybe bringing the elbows towards the chest and then up. Waking up the shoulders, maybe noticing the back active as we really press the arms into the forearms into the block. Notice different parts of the body that might be waking up. You can pause at the top. You can pause partway through. Just moving a couple breaths, maybe 3-4 more breaths up and down, your own pace. Maybe already feeling those shoulders firing up. We're going to build a little bit of heat to bring in some purification to the body. So when we bring in these virtues that Patanjali writes about, we can kind of clear the path, kind of like doing a controlled burn, burning it out so we can plant some seeds. So y'all know what that means. Mayday, mayday. Got our boat post coming up. Let's pause with the block in front of the shoulders. I think it's kind of fun to just bring the arms out and let the block fall. If you want to set the block down, you can, but you can just let it go. A little release, and then shake out the arms. Bring the arms down. Really shake out those wrists, let the shoulders kind of calm. And then maybe make some neck rolls. Forward, back, around, down, and around. Opening up that neck. Arms can be anywhere, maybe on the side, on the ground, or on the tops of the legs. Tuning into shoulders and up this morning before we come down to the back. Now, whenever you're ready, making your way down to the ground, onto the back, and we're going to draw our knees into our chest. And now starting with the hips, so kind of the four corners of the body, shoulders and now hips. Draw the knees in, rock side to side. Waking up that low back. Maybe you hug the knees in, draw the belly button to the floor, the low back down, lift the shoulder blades up, kind of crunching the body together. Rocking side to side, nose towards those knees. Breathe in. Out. Now bring those shoulder blades down to the ground. The feet come down. The feet are maybe mat distance apart. Hands can be out like a T or down by the side. Let's move through some bridge. So you can shimmy those shoulder blades flat on the ground. Press the knees into the floor. Drive the glutes up to the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift the glutes, press through the hips. And then exhale, lower. Now let's inhale, lift the
Glutes through the hips reach for the sky. Ground the left foot into the ground. And now lift that right knee and maybe the right leg goes all the way up. Now just reach that foot to the sky and then lower the hip just a smidge. So it's like a millimeter that you lift up and then lower. And lift up to the sky with the foot and then lower. Let's do 2 more. You're noticing where we feel some heat in the body now. Bend that knee, bring the foot to the ground, lower down the hips, draw the knees into the chest, rock side to side. And then exhale. Bring the feet back down to the earth. When you're ready, lift up into your bridge, driving those glutes through. The hips lift, ground the right foot down. Now lift that left knee and then extend the right or the left leg to the sky. The right hip, the right glutes are active, left glute active to keep the hips lifted. And then we just lower down the hips and then lift up. Just do that a couple times. Waking up the backs of the legs, the hips, core. Building some fire. It's a little controlled burn for these new seeds. One more deep breath, reach up to the sky, hold at the top. And then exhale, bring that foot down, lower down the hips, and let's roll right up to our boat pose. You can rock and roll a couple times to massage that spine. Maybe the heels come down, plant the heels, lift the heart or the shoulders back, and then any variation with our boat. You can bring the legs out. We're going to be here 5 breaths. So maybe you want to bring the palms out and kind of move side to side, a little twist in your boat. Maybe you just want to hold. So find what kind of burn you want to create. Burn, baby, burn. Clearing the path for some fresh seeds on fertile soil in our hearts. Let's lower down the heels. Lift the chest up, bring the hands to the shins, shine the heart through. Inhale, lift the arms to the sky. Exhale, recline back. Extend the legs out nice and long. Flex the feet towards the face. And lower the hands down, palms to the sky. And now point the toes. Draw those low abs in, low belly in. Flex towards the face. Yep, and just do that over and over. Noticing where we feel the burn. One more breath out. In, lower down. And let's come up to Uttanasana. Coming directly to stand. Grounding into the earth. Let's reach up to the sky. Creating some space in that kind of condensed area where we just started that burn. Inhale up. And exhale, ground into the earth. The hands can still lift. And then let's draw our hands together in front of our heart. We're going to dedicate this little series here to cultivate an attitude that's pleased with those that are happier or those that seem happier than ourselves. So let's inhale, reach up to sky. Exhale, fold it forward, Uttanasana. So let's bend the knees, rise up again. Inhale. Exhale, fold it forward. Bending the knees a lot or a little bit, opening up the backs of the legs. Let's reach up one more time. Inhale. Exhale, the breath fans the flame that burns inside. Uttanasana. And now let's inhale back to plank pose. So here's our plank. Wrists under shoulders, the hips lift, the back is flat, the heels reach behind us. Draw the belly button to spine. Inhale. And exhale. Now let's bring that right knee to the right elbow and we're going to hold it there. Let's breathe in. And exhale, send it back. Inhale, left knee to left elbow. Hold it there. Drop the belly button in. The back might round, and that's okay. Inhale. Exhale, step that back. Breathe in. Exhale back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. 5 breaths here. Plant the hands. Plant the feet. Plant that seed in your heart so we can be pleased with those that seem happier than ourselves. We're not envious. We don't say, oh, must be nice. But we can be pleased with that and it can be inspiring to us. Let's inhale. Exhale, sigh. Inhale, roll it forward, back in our plank pose. Hands plant, toes, feet ground. Now let's bring our right hand to the left shoulder. So just tap that left shoulder. You can pause here, or you can bring that hand right back down. Find your plank. Bring that left hand to the right shoulder. You can pause with that left hand on the shoulder, or you can bring it right back down. We're gonna do that one more time. Right hand to left shoulder, building the heat. Bring the right hand down, the left hand to the right shoulder. Pause here. Then bring the hand down and exhale back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhale through the mouth, release that heat, breathe in. Exhale, sigh. Now inhale, step that right foot forward, round the ball of the foot down. Let's inhale to rise, let that heat come up and out the body. Maybe open the mouth, stick out the tongue. Lion's breath, exhale. Breathe in. Exhale, fold it forward. You can come onto your block if you want. The left hand plants, the right arm reaches up to the sky. A little twist. Our twists are gonna fan that fire in the torso. So feel that flame in the torso. Breathe in. Exhale, sigh. If you want, you can bring that shoulder out or the arm out in front of the head and down in front to open up that shoulder a little bit. Maybe taking some clockwise and then anti-clockwise movements with the arm. Nice job, guys. And then bring the arm up to the sky. Exhale, bring the hand down to frame the foot, and then we'll rise up, crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, sigh. Now fold forward, frame the foot, step it back, downward facing dog, inhale. And then exhale, plant that right foot, send the left foot to sky, bend the knee, stack the hip, that left heel going back. You can look underneath that right armpit, see the foot or under the left, and just see the abyss. Breathe in. Now exhale, bring that left foot down, ground to the feet, ground to the hands. Inhale. Exhale, sigh. Now inhale, step the left foot forward, right ball of the foot grounds. Let's inhale to rise, release the heat, lion's breath, exhale. Stick out the tongue, breathe in. Exhale, sigh, fold it forward, bring that block on the inside of the foot, ground the hand, the left arm reaches up for sky. Really stretch it out in the torso, in the chest. The left arm can make some circles if that feels right for this side of the body too. We're cultivating this attitude that is pleased with those that are happier than ourselves. Moving our arm, and just moving our energy, cultivating equanimity in the mind. Let's breathe in. Exhale to bring that hand to frame the foot, move the block out of the way. We're going to step it back on an exhale. So on your exhale, step back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, ground, 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 then bend the right leg, stack the hip. If you want, you can make some circles, but look underneath that right arm. There's no leg, left armpit, there's the foot. Opening up the hips, creating some space. Breathe in. Exhale, lower that leg down, sigh. Deep breath in. Now exhale, lower down the knees. So let's find ourselves in our tabletop. Hands underneath the wrists, knees underneath the hips. Take a moment and really feel the four corners of the body, shoulders and hips, shoulders and hips. Inhale. And then on an exhale, lift that right knee out to the side. Try to keep that back flat, opening up the hip. You can keep that knee bent or that leg bent, or you can extend the leg out. So we're kind of in an awkward airplane. So the right leg is out. Let's breathe in, drawing awareness to the hips. Exhale, bring that knee in. Find your tabletop. Bring the left knee out to the side. You can keep that leg bent, or if you want to extend it out, but draw the belly button into spine. Breathe in. Exhale, bring that knee back to the earth. The right knee opens up to the side and extend that leg out or keep it bent. Couple breaths here, inhale. And you exhale, bring that knee down and over to the left. Last time out to the left. You can extend it out or you can keep it bent. Inhale. And then exhale, knees come down, and then we'll curl it back to downward facing dog on your exhale. So find your exhale and move your exhale into downward facing dog. Sigh. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale, sigh. Another deep breath in. Exhale, sigh. Now inhale, step both feet forward. You can walk your feet forward, but we're going to meet in our Namaskarasana, our mountain pose. Make sure you extend high to let that heat out, creating as much space in the body so the heat can flow. And then we'll exhale to bring our hands to our heart space. Maybe close the eyes. Breathe in and out. Maybe noticing any micro movements in the body, that prana moving, flowing, settling in this container that we call our body. And this next series is going to cultivate that compassion towards those that are unhappy. Compassion towards those that are unhappy. Let's inhale, reach the hands to the sky, send the hips forward, a slight back bend, maybe a big one. Exhale, fold it forward, let it go. Bend the knees, rise up again. Inhale, you can reach the hands back, slight back bend, and then we'll let it go, folding forward, exhale. Inhale, step it back. We're going to meet in our plank pose. So those hips lift, the hands ground, heels reach back. Find that strong core. Exhale, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Then inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Those elbows and hips are kind of hanging out. The thighs hover maybe. Heart lifts. If you had a backpack on, lifting the shoulders, but the chest is down. Inhale. And exhale, go back, out of Mukha Svanasana. Inhale. Exhale, sigh. Inhale, step the right foot forward, pivot the left foot down so the heel comes down. And then we'll rise up. Virabhadrasana 1. Extend, letting that heat come out the fingertips down through the ground. Our core might be really active today. Let's breathe in. Exhale, bring the hands behind the back. Pull those hands down. We interlace the fingers. Let's find our humble warrior. Fold it forward. Heart hovers over the thigh. If that doesn't feel good to interlace the hands, bring them to your hips. We're wanting to open up the chest here. So you can bring your hands to the hips. Maybe your elbows reach towards each other. Pinching the shoulder blades together. We're just opening up the chest. Breathe in. Exhale, sigh. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. And then we'll inhale to rise up. Reach for the sky. And then we'll fold it forward to frame the foot. Bring the right foot back. Halakasana. Let's find our plank pose. And then make your way to downward facing dog. Maybe you want to go right back on an exhale. If you want to lower down, do a Chaturanga Dandasana, then do that. Otherwise, just go right back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. On your inhale, step that left foot forward, pivot the right foot down, and then we'll rise up, release that heat, ground through the feet, bring some awareness to the hips, to the shoulders, and extend up. Maybe close the eyes and visualize that compassion being cultivated in the soul of our heart. Interlace the hands behind the back, pull those hands away, hips are fine, and humbly bow forward, extending that compassion towards those that are unhappy. And we'll pause in our humble warrior. Maybe the head hangs. And feel your breath. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh. And then we'll rise on an inhale. So whichever inhale you get to that you feel ready to rise, let yourself lift. And once you lift, ground through the feet, reach the fingertips high, and then we're gonna fold it forward and step it back to our plank pose. So finding our plank. And then when you're ready, you can roll it back to your downward facing dog, or you can exhale, lower down, and inhale, rise and find downward facing dog. However you wanna find it, make your way there. Inhale, and exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh. Now let's inhale, step the right foot forward, come onto the ball of the left foot, rise up to meet the sky with the fingers. And let's bring our right hand back onto that left back of the leg. So the left arm reaches high. And if you can't quite make that twist, just bring your right hand to the right low back and extend up. We're gonna give ourselves a little back bend. Create some space in the heart for that compassion. Inhale. And now exhale, bring the left arm towards the front and the right arm comes back. So we're kind of in our twist now, breathe in. Exhale, hands come to the front. And if we were squeezing that block, bring our forearms parallel, or hands to the sky, breathe in. Now shift the weight into that right foot. Extend that left foot all the way forward, bring your hands into prayer. And maybe squat down, one-legged chair pose. Left leg can be out, you can bend that knee. The left foot can be to the ground. We're gonna ground maybe on one leg, breathe in. And then exhale, let's extend that leg back into our crescent lunge, high to the sky with the arms. Nice, guys, inhale. Exhale, fold it forward over the front leg, step the left foot forward, ground that left foot, and now step the right foot back. Inhale, rise, crescent lunge, Ashtangasana. Beautiful, breathe in. Exhale, that left hand comes to that right hamstring, the right arm extends to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, that left hand can always come to that left hip if that right hamstring is not accessible. Breathe in. And then exhale, bring the right arm out so it's in line with the shoulder, the left hand can go back. Bring everything back to center. Bring those forearms together. We're preparing for our prayer here. So bring your hands into prayer as we ground into the left foot. So the right foot forward. You find a one-legged chair pose. My right leg can be out straight or can be bent. Or that heel can be down. So find your variation. Your one-legged chair. Breathe in. And then exhale. Step that right foot to meet the left. Let's ground into our mountain pose. Maybe let the hands go. Let the heat settle. Exhale out the mouth. Breathe in. Exhale, sigh. Deep breath in. Let it go. Let's reach our arms to the sky. Hands meet. Draw them into the heart. Let's bend the knees and just fold it forward. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows and let ourselves surrender. Maybe rocking side to side. Breathing in and out. And then bend the knees. Let the arms loose. And then roll on up. Bring the hands to the sky. Legs, the feet ground. And then bring our hands in prayer. In this series, we're going to cultivate that joyfulness towards those that are doing praiseworthy things. Maybe just feel that joy in the heart. Maybe bring to your heart space someone that does praiseworthy things. Breathe in. Exhale, sigh. And then we'll sweep our arms to the sky, gather that energy in, and fold it forward, Uttanasana. Let's inhale, step it back to our plank pose. Hands ground. Hips lift, heels reach for the back wall. Breathe in. And let's exhale, roll over towards the left, finding our side plank. You can bring that right foot in front. Reach the right arm to the sky. Yeah. And now you can make some circles with those shoulders, or with the arms for the shoulders, opening the shoulders. So wherever you're at, you want to keep that arm straight, you can. And let's bring that back down here with our plank pose, Halakasana. Let's lower down our knees, sit the hips back, child's pose. Exhale, sigh. Feel that joy of a baby. That bliss in Sanskrit, the word is ananda. Ananda. So we're feeling that bliss, that joy towards those that are doing praiseworthy things. Let's inhale up to tabletop, finding our plank pose, and then rolling over to Vashisthasana on the other side. Any variation, that knee can be down or that foot can kickstand. You can bring some shoulder action into our side plank. And then we'll exhale to bring that hand down. Inhale to set. Feel your feet ground, your hands ground, the hips lift, breathe in. And now exhale back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's inhale, roll it forward. And let's drop those hips towards those elbows and reach up with the heart. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Nice, guys. Exhale back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's inhale, roll it forward, plank pose. And let's cultivate that fire with the right knee towards the right elbow. And now send it over to the left. And then over to the right. And then find our three-legged dog. Send the right leg up to the sky. Bend that knee, stack the hip. If you want, you can make some circles with the knee. Bringing some movement into those hips. Really focusing on our shoulders and hip joints today. And then bring the right leg down. Ground. Inhale, forward, plank pose. Always welcome to stay in dolphin or downward facing dog. We're going to bring the left knee to the left elbow, left knee to right elbow, then back to the left. And then find your three-legged dog, reaching the left leg to the sky. Bend the knee and stack the hip whenever you're ready. And then finding some movement in that left hip, maybe some little rolls with that left knee. And then exhale, bring that foot down to the ground. Palms face down, feet to the earth. Inhale, bring that right foot through. Find your base with that front foot. Breathe in. And now let's inhale, rise up on that left foot, finding Virabhadrasana 3. Now that left foot can be down on the ground or it can be lifted. If you have your block, bring it to the right corner of the mat. And then lift up out of that hip socket. So the hips lift, the foot is pulling down, the hips are pulling up. And then any variation with your arms. Maybe you want to say a little prayer. Bring your hands in, they can be out. And now let's meet with our arms extended past the head, if you can do that, that's accessible. And then we'll just exhale. Come forward, lifting that knee up, the hands reach down, the chest lifts. Yeah, draw your awareness to the core, to that fire that might be burning still. And then we'll inhale, rock it back, Virabhadrasana 3, reach back with the heel, reach forward with the hands. Let's pause here. Cultivate some joyfulness towards those that are doing praiseworthy things. Now, from here, reach with the fingertips, reach back with the heel. Let's draw our knee and our elbows in. So curl up into a little ball. Knees and elbows meet, the back rounds, and then extend it out, sending that joy to those that do praiseworthy things. Exhale, cultivate and gather it in. Inhale, extend it out, breathe in. Now exhale, bring that right hand towards that block, stack the hip, just like we did in downward facing dog. Open up, Ardha Chandrasana. Or half moon. And then breathe in. And the equanimity in the breath. And the equanimity in the breath will lead Some equanimity in the mind. Let's try to find that. And if that means the hands on the hip, it's on the hip. Let's exhale, spread that hip back towards the earth. Bring the hands down to the ground. Step that left foot back, then step the right foot back. Lower the knees. Let's sit back in child's pose. Exhale. Maybe a lion's breath. Exhale out the mouth. Let it go. Deep breath in. One more breath out. And now roll it forward. Find our downward facing dog. In our downward facing dog, let's bend that right knee and stack the hip. Opening up that right hip again. And then lowering it down. That right foot comes down. Inhale, step that left foot forward. The right foot grounds. Bring that block over to the left side of the mat. Now grounding that left foot, we're gonna reach up and soar, coming right into our Virabhadrasana 3. And maybe you extend the arms out, you can bring your hands to prayer. Flex that back foot, lift up out of that left hip, breathe in. And we'll extend our arms above the head. And then we'll exhale to draw the elbows towards the knee, finding that little ball, that little seed, cultivating that joy. Inhale, let's send it out. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, extend. And last time, let's draw it in. Exhale. Visualize that person, and on your inhale, send it out to them. Our exhale brings that left hand to the block. We stack the hip, opening up the side body, opening up the hips. Any variation with that top hand. Ardha Chandrasana. Nice job, guys. One more breath in. Bend that front knee. Exhale, just bring those hips parallel with the ground. Now bring those arms kind of towards, as if they were framing the block in front of us. And then we're gonna lift up. We lift our hands to the sky, the knees in line with the hip. And then we're gonna rock it forward, extending that leg back, extending the arms forward. And then draw that knee in line with the hip, arms come up. And then last time, hinging at the waist, fingertips reach forward, that right leg reaches back. And then exhale, hands come to the ground. Step that right foot back. Step the left foot back. Let's find downward facing dog for one breath. Then when you're ready, maybe find a wide-legged child's pose. Maybe you come into an upward facing dog to open up those hips before sinking back in your child's pose. But find that ananda, find that bliss. Find that joy. And breathe in. And exhale, sigh. Feeling our breath. Be tapping into what it means to us to be alive. And to have the opportunity to cultivate virtues such as pleasure, compassion, joy, and equanimity. To do it safely in our homes, safely outside. Just breathe in. And exhale, roll it up. Knee to Uttanasana. And roll through a downward facing dog first. But let it all kind of hang down towards the earth in a forward fold, grabbing opposite elbows, swaying side to side. Then we'll bend the knees. We'll rise up. Fingertips reach to the sky, hands reach, or feet reach to the ground. And then exhale, hands come down. Let's bring our hands to our heart again in prayer. We close the eyes, remembering that equanimity of mind. That's why we practice our pranayama, that's why we practice our yoga. That's why we do those things that bring us back home to ourselves so we can have some stillness of mind. So we can be undisturbed by the errors of others. So that our mind can be very tranquil. Let's inhale to reach up for the sky. And exhale to fold forward. Inhale, step everything back, finding our plank pose. And then in our plank pose, let's ground through the hands, reach the heels back. And now bring the knees to the ground, let them hover. Hover, hover, hover. And then we'll inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, let the knees hover over the earth. You can bring them down if you want, but try to let them hover. We're gonna really need to build some heat, have a controlled burn for this seed. Let's inhale, extend through the legs, breathe in. Exhale back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And let's set here, kind of reset here. And I want to read something that one of the commentators for one of my yoga sutras says, and he says that we don't need anger to motivate us to do what is right. We can act from higher motives. Compassion, clear knowledge of what is virtuous, and the strong wish to bring about harmony. So let's step it forward, bringing everything to the front of the mat, rising up to bring our hands in prayer, and giving ourselves this offering of this equanimity of mind. It doesn't mean that we're aloof, it doesn't mean that we're complacent. It just means that we're cultivating equanimity and clarity so we can act from a virtuous place. So let's inhale. Exhale, breathe out a sigh of relief. Inhale, step it back again, finding our plank pose. Deep breath in. Yes. Exhale, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, lifting the heart. We operate out of a virtuous place. Exhale back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now inhale, step that right foot forward. Draw the left foot forward, maybe a step or two. Ground that foot. So maybe our feet are like a foot and a half apart. Ground, ground, ground. Let's rise up. Parsvottanasana. Pyramid pose. A strong base. And inside that pyramid are those jewels, those gems of virtue, clear knowledge, and compassion. Draw the belly button in. Lift the shoulders up and back. And exhale, fold it forward. The heart beating towards the ground. Breathing in. Exhale, sigh. Deep breath in. On an inhale, lift the hands to the sky. Maybe clasp the hands fold, but the index fingers extend. Pointing up to the sky now. And then we'll exhale, surrender and bow. Those index fingers may be pointing past the front of our mat and towards the big toe. Bowing here. Keeping our hips towards the center of the mat if we can. We don't need anger to motivate us to do what is right. We can act from higher motives. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold it forward again. This time bringing that block towards the inside of that foot if you need to. Bring the left hand to the block. And then bring the right arm to the sky. Keep those hips in the middle. Sometimes we want to roll out to the right side. Keep it in the middle and then reach the right arm up. Revolved half moon. We're doing a revolved half moon here. It's like backwards, it's revolving. So this is kind of anti-cultural. Maybe anti-cultural to cultivate virtue towards the errors of others or have compassion. But we can cultivate that and be on that journey. Let's exhale, bring that hand down. Inhale to rise up, our pyramid base. Just polishing those jewels, those virtues in our hearts. Exhale, folding it forward. Maybe you want to stay surrendered in your pyramid pose. If you want to come into half moon, bring that hand to the block. The right arm reaches to sky. So whether you're in pyramid or whether you're in revolved half moon, this is revolved triangle. Whether you're revolving or whether you're in your pyramid, just find some calm. If you're in revolved triangle, lift that back leg, maybe find that revolved half moon. Wherever you are, tune in with the breath, tune in with those jewels inside of yourself. If you're in revolved half moon, lower that foot down. If you're in revolved triangle, bring that hand down. Let's meet up, standing, arms reaching towards the sky. Draw those hands in front of the heart. Maybe press those knuckles into the heart. Feel the beating of your heart in your chest. Breathe in. And then exhale, step forward. Bring the left foot to meet the right. Maybe shake out the legs. And then when you're ready, step that right foot back, setting up for a pyramid on the other side. Cultivate equanimity so we can be undisturbed. It's our mind that we're focusing on. Undisturbed by the errors of others. Let's inhale, reach up for sky. Ground through the hips and feet, and then fold it forward. Halfway. Draw the belly button into spine. Keep those hips in the middle. The fingertips reach out. The heart shines like the sun. Inhale, rising up, pressing the feet down. And then we can interlace the hands, bring those index fingers to point, and then bow forward. We can act from higher motives. We can act from compassion, clear knowledge of what is virtuous, and the strong wish to bring about harmony. From here, let's bring that right hand to the block. Lift the left arm to sky. Feel this revolved triangle, this twisting, this opening of the heart, of the chest, the shoulders. Maybe the shaking of a leg or the burning of the core, whatever it is. Let's just be here. Breathe in. Now exhale, bring that left hand down. We're gonna rise up, let that heat flow out to the fingertips, down the feet. And then we'll fold it forward again, finding our revolved triangle, that right hand on the block. You can stay in pyramid pose if you want to stay there. Otherwise, you can bring that left hand to sky. Maybe you bend that front leg and you find your revolved half moon, that right leg lifts to the sky. Breathe in. Exhale. Now, wherever you're at, come out of it the way that you came in. And we're going to meet in our forward fold. You can bring that back leg to the ground. Step it forward. Feet meet. Maybe grab opposite elbows, and we're just going to let it hang. This little free fall here. You sway side to side. You can stay here at Uttanasana. You can point your toes towards the corner of the mat, sink those hips down, find Malasana. You can keep those hands stacked like we had, opposite elbows, hands out in front. Giving your hands to prayer. Let's offer ourselves 10 breaths here. Maybe you want to spend a couple in crow pose. Maybe you want to just marinate in Malasana. You can marinate in crow. Maybe close the eyes. Long exhale. Two more rounds of breath. And at the bottom of that last exhale, let's bring our hands behind us, kind of lean back, let our feet come forward. So walk the hands back, feet forward, and then bring the soles of the feet together. Finding our seated butterfly. You can have the soles of the feet far away from your hips, you can draw them in. It's more of an adductor if you have them in closer, more hamstring if they're out. Just find some peace wherever you're at. And if butterfly doesn't quite work for you, then just maybe find 1 foot in, 1 foot in front. We'll just pause. Maybe closing the eyes. Letting out a sigh. Breathe in. Exhale. Now if your heart is forward, just bring the shoulders over the hips. Let's swing that left leg behind us. Keep the right knee in front. Swing that left leg back. Then the top of the foot, top of the leg comes down. Maybe finding your variation of your pigeon pose. If it's helpful for you to come into downward facing dog and to bring that knee towards the wrist and then lower that leg down, if that's a little bit easier route for you, then go that way. Otherwise, from butterfly, swing that left leg back, the right knee down, and the right leg, right shin to the floor. And if it doesn't feel good on your stomach, then come onto your back and have your figure 4. We're accessing the same area. One more breath. If you're on your stomach, just exhale, bring the palms to the ground, press up, bring the left or the right leg back. Maybe come into a upward facing dog, opening up the hip flexors. If you're on your back, just send the leg long. Then from our upward facing dog, you can roll back to downward facing dog just to offer that path to that left knee towards the left wrist. Lower that right leg down. And then coming into that left hip, you can keep the hands down, you can lower the forearms to the ground. And then always that option to come onto the back. On your next exhale, if you're on your back in figure 4, just let yourself come into Shavasana. If you're on the front, maybe press the hands down, lift up and back to downward facing dog. Maybe bring the hips down, then lower down onto your knees and make your way onto your back. On your back. Inviting in that effortlessness. Allowing these seeds, these virtues to rest. They've been nourished for the past little less than an hour. Let them rest.
Letting out a sigh that suits your energy, supports this rest. Allowing the eyes to rest in the head, the tongue to relax off the roof of the mouth, the shoulders to rest into the floor. Backs of the legs, heavy from the standing, the moving, they rest into the earth. The heart suspended in the chest, rests. The prana moving freely through the body, that subtlest level. The manifestation of our highest self flowing more freely now than it was at the beginning of class. On your next exhale, perhaps letting out a sigh, bringing some awareness to the physical body with the breath. And then slowly rolling over to one side. This fetal position, symbolizing a new birth, these virtues that we've cultivated and nourished. And then when you're ready, pressing up to a seat, you're welcome to stay on your back or on your side. You can bring your hands to prayer or rest them on your lap. May we continue to cultivate an attitude that is pleased with those happier than ourselves. Compassion towards those that are unhappy. A joyful attitude with those doing praiseworthy things. And may our mind be undisturbed by the errors of others, that we may act from a space of virtue, from higher motives. We'll exhale, inhale. Om. Shanti. 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 Om.